from other countries, other parts of the world. Welcome to New Delhi, our great capital. Welcome to UNESCO, the warmest platform that we have for regional and international collaboration. And certainly a warm welcome to this UNESCO NDL India International Design. I'm Parthapratim Das. I'm a professor with IIT Kharagpur and the general co-chair of this conference, of this workshop. I'm also the joint principal investigator of the National Digital Library of India project. So as a general co-chair, I take this opportunity to welcome you all and have a great time here. I would now request my general co-chair, Yusuf of UNESCO, to come and deliver his welcome address.
A very good morning to you all. I think Professor Das has done it all, isn't it? Anyway, I recognize the presence of Professor Chakrabarti, who is our patron, Professor Das and Christian Jensen, our general co-chairs, Professor Uma Kanjila, our program co-chair. I do understand that we have several colleagues from the Ministry of Human Resource Development. Probably some of them come from the INCCU, which is our National Commission. And on behalf of UNESCO and IIT Kharagpur, I also recognize the presence of all the speakers, participants and partners, colleagues from TERI and others. To be honest with you, I will not be able to mention each one of you, but I'd like to assure you that we really value and recognize your highly valuable contributions. And of course, we also appreciate for taking your valuable time to be here with us today. I know some of you have traveled for so long, so thank you so much. And of course, I have my colleagues from UNESCO who are here, and all the partners, ladies and gentlemen. A heartiest and welcome to you all. Actually, I'm standing here today knowing that today is a very special day. A very special day to all of us, probably, and definitely, but a very special day in a very special week. This is the International Open Access Week, which is usually celebrated from the 23rd to the 29th of October. And you may recall that the theme for this year's International Open Access Week is focused on open access. And of course, with digital libraries, I don't want to go into length to explain how important digital libraries are when it comes to open access and open access movement in general. But we are also celebrating World Development Information Day, which was designated by the UN General Assembly Resolution 3038, and it is this very same week. And in this week, we are also celebrating World Day for Audiovisual Heritage, which is on the 27th, the last day of our international workshop. And if you may recall, very correctly, this day was designated by the 33rd UNESCO General Conference resolution. So, ladies and gentlemen, apart from our expectations on your deliberations on technological aspects and international best practices related to digital libraries, this international workshop is very important to us, and we really value your presence and welcome your presence. It is important as you are all aware, because the current world of ours is really challenged by the impact of technological changes. If you go back from Moore's law, I think Moore's law has a big impact now. You can see the technological changes, but we also have climate change impact, conflicts, the alignment of geopolitical interests, the rise of nationalism, and the realities of the cultural aspects of the cultural intolerance in the world. And many other challenges, of course. And there is no better opportunity, I should say, than now to have international dialogue, just like what we are going to have in the next 3 days. Whether it's technical or non-technical, international dialogue is very crucial at the moment. And I don't want to get into the details on how crucial and paramount digital libraries are a key component of building peace and stimulating development through knowledge transfer, which is a key part of peace building. I don't want to get into the details, but it is for that same reason I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate your presence and your contributions in advance, and of course welcome you to this international workshop on knowledge engineering for digital library design. And on behalf of IIT Kharagpur, UNESCO, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Terry, and all our other partners, as I said earlier, I won't be able to mention you by name. Let me once again welcome you to India. I welcome you to New Delhi, welcome you to UNESCO, and in particular to this international conference, hoping that you really enjoy the pleasant weather in October. This is the best time of New Delhi. I hope you'll enjoy it. And please take time to visit the various sites in New Delhi. We hope you'll enjoy our Indian hospitality. And of course, the deliberations of this workshop. To be honest with you, we don't have an appropriate statement to express our appreciation and to welcome you. But the only thing we know is that you spent your highly valuable time to be with us today, and we look forward to your fruitful and enriched deliberations, and we hope that this international conference will lead to enhanced collaboration with all of you here, with the National Digital Library of India and all our partners. And as I said, there is no enough statement which can express our heartiest welcome, other than just, let me use an Indian word, Sogatan. And our heartiest appreciation and welcome to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Alamin Yusuf. Next, our third general co-chair, Dr. Christian Jensen of the Head Collections of British Library, could not make it to the workshop, but he has sent a video message for all of us. So I will just play that video. Dr. Jensen's video, please.
Hello, my name is Christian Jensen. I'm Head of Collections and Curation at the British Library in London, the National Library of the United Kingdom. I'm delighted to be able to send my best wishes for a very successful UNESCO and National Digital Library of India conference. I'm really impressed with the diversity and the ambition of the programme that's been put together. So I'm confident that this will be a series of very productive days for everybody who takes part. I was fortunate enough to take part in last year's conference in Delhi, and I really regret that I'm unable to be with you this year as well. Here at the British Library in London, we hold extensive collections of South Asian early printed materials in the many languages of the subcontinent. in order to make these more available both to researchers and to a very broad audience in India and around the world, we are undertaking a major project to catalogue and digitize all our books in South Asian languages published before 1914. And that comes to something just over 140,000. The Newton Banner Fund has supported the pilot phase of this project, focusing on early printed books in Bengali in the first instance as locate or to get access to. My team here in the British Library is cataloguing 3,000 items, titles in Bengali, and using cataloguing metadata and digital images of the books to undertake exciting new research using digital humanities tools and techniques. As part of this project, we've organised an international competition to survey state-of-the-art optical character recognition technologies for Bangla. And the British Library team will continue to collaborate with institutions in India and in fact worldwide to support OCR development for Indian language material. The project is also providing a program of digitization, skill sharing and capacity building workshops for library professionals and archivists from cultural heritage institutions in India. And we've partnered with the National Digital Library of India to connect researchers with our digital material through their repository, a really wonderful outcome of our memorandum of understanding with the National Digital Library, which I signed when I was in Delhi last year. By digitising these collections, to make them openly available and communicating their significance through public outreach, this project is contributing to broadening the world's knowledge base and enhancing standards of cataloguing, metadata and imaging in the digital research community, both here in the United Kingdom and in India. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you, and I wish you a very successful conference.
Thank you, Dr. Jensen, in absentia. Next, I will invite Professor Parthopratim Chakraborty, Director of IIT Kharagpur and a patron of this workshop. Professor Chakraborty is here not only as a director and patron, but he is the prime visionary behind the National Digital Library of India. So you will hear him on his vision on the workshop. Professor Chakraborty, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, UNESCO, our co-partners, several of our partners who are mentioned here, I welcome all of you to this workshop with great hope. You are all experts who will provide your thought, guidance, and detailed action plan on what the steps will be to take the National Digital Library of India forward, integrate it with the best practices in the rest of the world, take it forward with respect to the new technologies that are coming in the area of knowledge management, with keywords being artificial intelligence, machine learning, augmented and virtualization. I am a computer scientist, you are also experts, but I do not want to provide you with technological inputs because that is what we are looking for from you. I want to provide you with some key ingredients which most of us technologists do not see. The objective of the National Digital Library is to reach every Indian. First question is reach. Reach is not reactive. reach is proactive. The second question about reach is we tend to make people learn the way we want to reach them. We have to try and reach them the way they communicate, they understand, and they reach us. See, all the metadata structures, all the communication structures, all the visualization structures, all the methodologies for that we will envisage to form the background of an evolving digital library cannot avoid the fact that 1.2 billion people in India and in the future 7 billion people in the world need to be reached and contacted. The second is about gathering knowledge from the people. The digital library is not just about books that have been written and published. The future is about how we can enable people from the smallest farmer to the most learned academician to express their knowledge, capture it, and disseminate it. This is the challenge that we have. This is the dream that we have. And it is with this dream and challenge that technology is probably, scholarship technology is probably the only way out for us, and unless we cooperate and collaborate and share our knowledge and give our best practices, taking it forward, we will not be able to do this in a timely fashion. The world moves so fast, people have so much to do, but this concept of digital libraries and education and the way people are going to learn things in the future is going to be so transformative and disruptive that we have a challenge at our hands to provide that platform. We are happy that you are with us, with you. I can assure you that the highest officers of the government of India are fully behind us to support us in any way in such a program. And in the afternoon, in the inaugural session, you will hear more from them. So I will request you to deliberate on these methodologies, technologies, methods of this whole deliberations with an eye for that child who runs to school with the hope that they will get a better education, with that farmer who wants to know what he will do with the crop, with that great student who has come to a university who wants those tools and techniques which will help him or her filter through years and thousands of years of data and knowledge and provide them with very succinctly with the key pieces of information that they require, that is distributed in millions and millions of dotted libraries in the world. We want to connect with years and years of dedicated effort of libraries which have spawned off in villages, towns, cities, and have protected them like you protect a candle from blowing out. We want your help to see how technologies can bridge this divide And if we can bridge this divide, there will be nothing better for us to sleep on a conscience that is clear, on a conscience that is built on hope that has succeeded. I look forward to all the experts, to all the participants. I thank you all for coming here. I did not want to tell you much on technology. It will be carrying coal to Newcastle by a colliery worker himself. I want to share with you those thoughts that came to my mind when I first wrote down the document for the National Digital Library. Welcome, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chakrabarty, for the visionary talk as ever. Next, I invite Professor Uma Kanjilal, our program co-chair. Professor Kanjilal is with Indira Gandhi National Open University, and she's been guiding us, the National Digital Library of India project, since beginning, with a lot of support in metadata handling and so on. So Professor Kanjilal will start telling us about the program of the workshop. Professor Kanjilal, please.
A very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank the NDL team and the UNESCO team for inviting me to be the program chair of this workshop. In fact, it has been a great privilege for me to be part of the NDL activities and since its inception. If you look into the National Digital Library initiative that has come up, it was a major initiative of the National Mission on Education through ICT. In fact, under this Human Resource Development Ministry, the idea was to actually consolidate all the learning resources in one platform, in fact. And if you look into the recommendations of National Knowledge Commission, in fact, it gave a thrust to the e-content development in the country. And in fact, as a part of NME-ICT, a lot of e-content generation started way back, in fact, from 2002 onwards, but with NPTEL program, and then many other major players came into being. But the only problem that was happening was that individually, so many institutions, they were involved in the content development, but actually the indexing was not happening, and no standard procedures were being followed for indexing the content and disseminating the content. So as a result, I think this major initiative that National Digital Library that came up was with the idea that we will consolidate all the contents that are available, and in fact a kind of a platform to be provided where it will be not only just harvesting the content that is there, in fact a possibility of in fact collaborating and creating content also in future, in fact. Now, talking about consolidating the data, it was a real major problem, as I mentioned, that there were no standards followed. And as a first initiative, I think what we tried to do is come up with a standard at a national level, especially when we talk about the educational resources. So some kind of a guidelines were prepared, and based on that the consolidation work started, and it needs to be appreciated. I mean, with a very short time, the NTL team has been able to come up and implement the National Digital Library platform, and it has really created an impact. I mean, everyone is talking about, if you talk about the higher education scenarios, everyone is talking about the NDL project. While this project was going on, in fact, a major study was done. It was a comparative study of some of the major initiatives worldwide, to find out the gaps that are there in the National Digital Library and how better we can in fact include features that are available in the other platforms. We took into consideration Trove, BASE, DPLA, Europeana, TEL, and many other such projects. And it actually, when we did the comparative study, it was based on the some of the parameters, and it was actually divided into 5 major facets. They were generic parameters, content-related parameters, retrieval-related parameters, post-retrieval-related, and interface and support-related. Now, since the study was based on information that we were able to get from the net and some documentary sources, in fact, it was felt that it will be better if we consult those who are involved in major initiatives worldwide and have some consultative discussion with them. And as a result of this, I think this whole idea of this workshop was mooted, in fact. So, and if you look into actually what we have tried to do is, it's the major, even in the theme that we look is, the major emphasis is on the knowledge engineering part in the context of designing a digital library, in fact. So if you look into the program that we have, it has 5 major core themes: the digital library technologies, standards and interoperability, search and interface information retrieval, design and user interfaces, talking about that, access and rights. So that is what has been structured, and Dr. Plavan Bhumik will be giving you the detail about the workshop, how we'll be conducting, in fact. I hope that in the next 3 days we have very active participation and deliberations, and we are able to share our experiences, get expert inputs from all of you, and in fact explore for future possibilities and look forward to some kind of collaborations in future that may come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Pranjilal, for the introduction. I'll now request Dr. Plavan Kumar Bhumik, Program Co-Chair again. Professor Bhumik is from IIT Kharagpur. So, Professor Bhumik, please.
Very good morning and warm welcome to this workshop to all the participants and the delegates. So in the next 10 minutes, I'll take you through the kind of things that we are going to do in the next 3 days. Right. So the entire program of the 3-day long UNESCO NDL India International Workshop on Knowledge Management for National Digital Library Design has been organized around 6 core thematic areas that form the foundation of any digital library system. The workshop hosts 21 keynote addresses by eminent speakers around the world, 4 panel motions deliberated by 26 leading experts and in different aspects of digital library design. So the first thematic area that is digital library technologies. So the architectural design and the choice of right technologies are instrumental in digital library system design. And in this theme, the technology experts from renowned digital libraries, namely Digital NZ from New Zealand, Tynacan from Brazil, National Library of Australia Trove, and Europeana will share their experiences in regard to technology space exploration. The technologies in focus are open access, open data services, metadata aggregation, automated harvesting, web technology, and collection management, and many more. Digital technology is advancing in leaps and bounds. So, digital library designs should adapt to the changed technology space. The same set of experts will engage in a panel motion to discuss how the respective design should be adapted to the new and changed and evolved modern technology space. The next theme is on standards and interoperability. And this is one of the core aspects which enables the digital library systems to adopt common standards for metadata representation and sharing of resources. And linked data is evolving to be the de facto standard for publishing and sharing data in semantic web compliant form. And thanks to the developments in form of schema.org, BibFrame, and LinkMark, and others. The theme will host 3 keynotes involving standardization of metadata reuse, linked data technology, and its implication in digital library design systems. Information retrieval technologies focus on discovery of resources in digital library. Different discovery services are built on top of the information retrieval technologies. The theme, Search and Information Retrieval, hosts 2 keynotes from 2 most renowned academic or scholarly discovery services, namely Google Scholar and Microsoft Academic. Diversity in language is another important aspect while designing digital libraries for countries like India. Another keynote in this theme focuses on multilingual and cross-lingual information retrieval for digital library. This theme also hosts a panel motion to deliberate on relationship between academic search engines, discovery tools, and the publishers. And it will be interesting to understand whether collaboration among them will bring mutual benefits and benefits to the users. Like other systems, users are the most important component of digital library design choices. Modern digital library technologies are adopting user-centered design paradigm with 2 broad design goals in mind. First one being drawing user attention, and second one being sustained user engagement. While developing appropriate strategies like crowdsourcing and collaboration helps in drawing user attention, rich user experience design ensures sustained user engagement. Designing for the user theme hosts several keynotes on content strategy and user experience design. This theme also provides special focus on design guidelines for inclusion of specially abled user population. Many of the digital library resources being in scanned form, optical character recognition or OCR has got huge relevance in terms of enhancing discoverability and readability of the digital resources. Keynote on OCR focuses on developments in Indian language OCR technology. It will also be interesting to understand how online learning and open educational resources are related to digital libraries. Content acquisition and dissemination strategies of our digital library must follow well-defined guidelines with respect to the laws governing access and rights of digital resources. The access and rights policies should also guide technology design. The theme Access and Rights focuses on intellectual property rights policies and standardization of the policy statements so that they become interoperable. Open access movement is instrumental in democratizing knowledge. As mentioned by Mr. Alamin, this week, 23rd to 29th October, is celebrated worldwide as Open Access Week for last 10 years. This week is celebrated by promoting open access culture by stressing upon its societal and economic benefits. So the program committee has dedicated a part of the program to deliberate on challenges and future of open access. Along with other keynotes, UNESCO will organize a panel motion to deliberate on open access culture. The last but not the least, collaboration and networking has become essential to share the connection between resources hosted in different digital libraries. The concluding of the final session of this workshop has been organized as a panel participated by representatives from 7 international digital libraries around the world to discuss the challenges, benefits, and future of collaboration and networking among digital libraries. I hope that you will enjoy all the session and your stay here in Delhi. I hope that the workshop will enrich your knowledge with the experiences shared by the experts, and you will be able to carry nice memories with you back home. So before I depart, so there are a couple of announcements regarding the change in program. The first being, we are unfortunate to miss the presence of Rose Hawley from University of New South Wales and Stefan Bartholomew from German Digital Library, as they are both down with flu, and that's very unfortunate for us. So Rose has shared her pre-recorded lecture video, which will be played during her session, and the program committee is really overwhelmed by the commitment she has shown to the workshop along with other speakers. The second announcement is on the update regarding the final day program. So in the slot 11:50 a.m. to 1 p.m., it has been divided into two parts. The first one being the keynote by Dr. Indrajit Banerjee from UNESCO, and this will be followed by a panel motion on the topic open access in South Asia, and that will be coordinated by Dr. Banerjee. So that's it for the program briefing. Thank you all, and hope you will be enjoying all the sessions here. And welcome to everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Bhomik. This brings us to the end of this welcome ceremony. Before I sign off, it's my privilege to thank all those who have been supporting us, helping us, particularly our patron, Ministry of Human Resources Development, our patrons for this particular workshop, the speakers, many of whom have traveled nearly hours together, some of them maybe 30 hours to be here and be with us, the panelists, participants. Some of the participants have also made long travels, our committee members who have been working hard to make this a success, our co-organizer and a very warm host, UNESCO, thank you very much, and our partners, Terry, very dynamic in providing all kinds of support, Jawaharlal Nehru University, InflibNet, IGNOU, and IIT Delhi. So thank you all very much. We will now break for a short tea. We have a little bit spilled in this session, so I would request that we finish the tea in little less than 20 minutes and be back here to start right at 11 when the next session is scheduled. The tea is outside near the registration area, so please proceed for tea. Thank you.